Nemechek saw,
Good job.
Nemechek saw Schrader coming, and he said, I'm going to move up and catch that freight train and see if it will take me to the front. And they're going by David Green. Now they're going to try Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the outside. Oh! Schrader hard in the outside. Schrader up high on the outside. Cars sliding on the inside. 2, 3, 4, 5 cars now sliding or reading together in turn 1. One car erupts in flames out in turn 1 as they continue to have impact. As now there is flame burning all the way across the racetrack, the rear end impact, apparently rupturing the fuel cell on the back of one of these Busch cars. And what we dread at Talladega has just taken place here on lap 68. That is the camera looking at the back of Kenny Schrader's car. And he is out of the car, but apparently the hard impact, he is away from the race car. That hard impact now has ripped open that 22-gallon fuel cell, and he just pitted not long ago, so probably had about 18 gallons in there. And now you see the heat beginning to burn and melt away the camera inside. That's Chuck Bound's car. And let me see the back of Schrader's car where the fire was up on the racetrack, and it just followed Schrader's car. It was weird how the fire went right down to the car. Is that Barry Bodine on the bottom down there?
66 cars. It's
Todd Bodine.
Todd Bodine's car.
All right, we're going to show you the replay of what happened here a moment ago. 11 cars in a draft in the tri-oval. There we see Kelly Denton. Kelly Denton runs up into the back of Kenny Schrader, and that's what we're talking, the bump drafting. When they pick those rear tires off the ground, that is a problem. Turned him in the outside wall. There goes Jeff Green, and meanwhile, here comes this huge pack of cars with nowhere to go except into a smoke where they can see nothing, Kyle.
Yeah, and it's exactly like we always talk about. Then Schrader gets hit again over here, and that's where the fire starts. You saw somebody come down off the bank and hit him again. But we talk about Talladega. There's always multiple wrecks. Schrader was one wreck. When Kelly Denton runs in the back of Kenny Schrader right here and turns him, there's your wreck right there. Then all of a sudden somebody runs in the back of the 32 car and spins him down. Here he comes down across the thing here. He spins. There's your wreck right there. There's plenty of room to get through. The guys behind them, they can't see it. Somebody checks up. The next pack starts running into each other, and you'll see them start running into each other right here. They kick the 59 out of position here. All of a sudden the racetrack is blocked. You can't see anything. You're driving in there blind, and everybody runs over everybody, and there's no place for anybody to go.
Now the Briggs & Stratton roof camera from Kenny Schrader. Buckle up and ride along as you watch this accident at 195 miles an hour. There's the impact. Continuing to spin around 360 down in turn 1. Now here's traffic coming right at him. He almost comes to a stall and gets hit again in the backside. The Jeff Krogh car erupting in flames. When Schrader got hit the second time, there was fire on the racetrack, and the fire ran all the way back down to his race car along that trail of gasoline and reignited. There was Shane Hall driving in to see Phil Parsons, Brad Loney. I mean, they must have half the field down in turn 1. Once again, we see Schrader hard in the outside retaining wall. Debris flying every place. Now watch this. Here comes a big wreck. Our camera moves, but watch the big wreck. Oh, that sounds so ugly. And you see the fire running over to the back of Schrader's car. It actually started on the racetrack. At that second impact, there was gasoline dumped on the track. That ignited and ran down a trail all the way over to where Schrader was climbing out of his car. You see Randall LaJoie had some damage. Ray Dunlap?
Well, Benny, he got the damage as he was coming in, just getting ready for their pit stop here, and the number 77 car of Ed Barrier was coming down pit road and decided to take a quick turn left to go into the garage, and LaJoie was coming in for his pit stop. That's where they made the contact. It doesn't look like a lot of damage, but LaJoie was the leader, and this could change his aerodynamics, no doubt about it. Right side tires are on, and he's going to lose a lot of positions while they sit here on pit road and work on it.
Man, oh man. Aerodynamics so critical here. Is Johnny Allen, the crew chief there, on his knees trying to get that front end taped up. Now, here again is the incident, and there's the 77 of Ed Barrier. And there's the right front damage that Ray was talking about. And the crew very frustrated as the hard left-hand turn of the garage area, and they are trying to repair that car. Well, we are showing 70 laps complete here at Talladega. What a mess down in turn 1. We'll try to unravel it after this message and a word from our ABC station. Stay with us. Thank you very much, Robin. We welcome you back to Talladega Superspeedway. I'm Jerry Punch along with Kyle Petty, Benny Parsons, Ray Dunlap, and Bill Weber. And there is the car number 75 that NASCAR is holding on pit road. He was the car right behind Ken Schrader when this massive melee began on lap number 68. Third caution flag today coming out on lap 68. And here's the action. Here's where it all began. The 75 and 15 come together.
Ken Schrader in the 15 car turns right hard in the outside retaining wall. Jeff Green spins down to the inside. You think the wreck is over, folks? The wreck is just starting, because here comes a huge pack of cars, about 20 cars, and at least 10 of those cars spun, crashed before they could get stopped.
All right, now for the Superflow roof cam of Chuck Bound, right behind Ed Barrier. And Kyle, he can't see a thing.
He can't see anything. He's getting pushed from behind. The same time all this wreck's going on. Somebody's pushing him into it. He's getting pushed from behind. And these other cars, he spins all the way around and headed back in the right direction, and they're still wrecking in front of him. From Kenny Schrader's car, listen to the in-car camera. And you can't hear it, but from the in-car, it happened so quick that he never had a chance to check up out of the gas or do anything. He drove right into the outside wall running wide open. So it's just, that's how quick things, we talk about how quick things happen here. This is still going on. This is one of those wrecks that just won't quit, but we talk about how quick things happen here at Talladega. That's a great example of it.
Boy, and one of the drivers able to walk away, Tim Fita, was standing by with Bill Weber.
Well, it happens in a hurry here. You're able to smile. You're okay.
Yeah, we're fine. It's just unfortunate for us and this whole Stanley team. We, had a good, not a real good qualifying effort, and we knew we had to come from the back and try to avoid stuff like that. But it was a wreck that happened just after restart, and when you're all bunched up like that, there isn't no room for anyone to go. So, I think everybody's okay. That's the good news in the infield care center. No one got seriously hurt, so that's the good news. Schrader's helmet's a little charcoal, but so he thinks that's cool, though. That's Kenny.
Okay, thanks, Timmy.
Boy, Tim the Toolman Fita, Stanley Pontiac, able to walk away from what was a very frightening accident at over 193 miles an hour. And there's Kelly Denton, the car number 75, the Lumar Chevrolet, Charlie Henderson-owned car, being held on pit road. Now, Phil Parsons took a couple of very, very hard licks. Now he's standing with Bill.
And you did take a few hard hits, but you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I think I got hit 6 or 7 times, it seemed like. My spotter was right on top of it, said, hey, wreck up in front of you. And I was getting slowed down. Todd was behind me. We were working our way back to the front. And he was getting slowed down. He said someone ran in the back of him. That knocked him into me, turned me around, and I hit 4, 5, 6 times. I couldn't believe it. The Alltel Chevy was really awesome. We topped off, took 4 tires and topped off on the last caution because we could go all the way. I don't know if any of the rest of them could or not. Several of us topped off, and Todd and I worked together real well, and we were headed back towards the front, and we probably got from the very back up towards the top 15, and this happened. I really hate it for the Alltel team and Honeywell, Goodyear, Chevrolet. I guess Kenny was involved in the start of it. He said the 75 car ran in the back of him, and that doesn't surprise me because I thought in practice yesterday that he was going to crash, so it doesn't surprise me that he caused a wreck like this.
Glad you're okay. See you next week.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, Phil Parsons, now by our count, there were 18 cars and drivers involved in that incident. And we told you at the very first superspeedway race this year at Daytona, they told the drivers it's got to be a give-and-take race. Instead, it was a push-and-shove day, as we had caution flags and multi-car crashes, and now we have the same at Talladega. We'll list those drivers involved when we come back to Talladega Superspeedway after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway here in Talladega, Alabama. The Touchstone Energy 300 under caution for the 3rd time today, and a multi-car accident on lap 68 involving Kenny Schrader with a tap from behind by the car number 75, Kelly Denton.
There's Schrader in the 15 car. See Jeffrey spin down to the inside. So here comes the wreck right behind them.
fire erupts, comes all the way back into Schrader's car, and there's the charred helmet being held by the driver. And Bill Weber, he looks to be okay, huh?
Yeah, very disappointed, but physically fine, and obviously you are disappointed.
Yeah, we had a good car. Bad at the start of the race, went back to last. Run back up there and just ride along, and we got drop kicked, coming out of the trial a ton, and there was no getting it gathered up.
You won't believe it when you see it.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. I didn't believe it when I saw it coming. I said, he's not going to. This isn't the part of the track where you bump draft. You don't bump draft 10 mile an hour faster, but...
Show us your helmet, Kenny.
It just got a little hot. Hit something a little hard, but the bell held up good.
Okay, on the pole tomorrow. Better luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
To Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, Bobby Hillen's back here in the garage. They just brought his race car back here. A big wall of smoke. Were you able to even see anything?
Well, it happened way up in front of us, and I thought for sure our group was going to get woed down. And, I personally tried to slow down as much as I could and still keep my car straight. And when we got to it, boy, it just all closed up on me. And, I felt like a ball in a fuse machine. I got hit every way I could, about 10 different times. Not really hard any. I think we can get back out and get some points, but I hate it for Sparkles, Towels. They were with us for a one-race deal. And we want to do a good job, but there's a lot. I tell you, it's great to see all the fans here in the stands for a Busch race. The race was going good up until then, and you just hope all day long, stay cool, everybody stay cool, and it doesn't take but one little bump, and man, it'll tear up about $1 million equipment real quick.
Absolutely. And but guys, I've looked around at some of the cars that are back here in the garage. There are crews working on them, but of the 15 or 16 that are in the garage now, looks to me like maybe 3, maybe 4 of them might be able to get back out of there.
All right, let's set the cars that were involved in this crash, this wild scramble here on lap 68. There were 21 cars that we have currently involved. McLaughlin, Todd Bodine, Ken Schrader, Kelly Denton, and Jeff Green. Brad Loney, the short track ace from Iowa. Jeff Krogh, heavily damaged in front of his car. Shane Hall, Phil Parsons front and rear damage. Mark Green's Dr. Pepper car also involved. Chuck Bound, Mike Dillon, Ed Barrier, Kevin Grubb, and Bobby Hamilton Jr., as well as Tim Feedwell, you heard from a moment ago, Jeff Fuller, Wayne Grubb, Bobby Hillen, Tony Raines, and Matt Hutter in the car number 99. Now, one driver a little bit ago that came through this incident must have had hit both sets of fingers crossed and toes crossed. He could not see a thing. We're talking about Stanton Barrett in the Channel Lock Chevrolet. Watch his route through the accident.
He drives into the smoke, and we see Larry Pearson go by in the 00, and Stanton must not be doing 20 miles per hour, and that's about the right speed to drive through there.
That's exactly the right speed. You see Larry Pearson right to the right. By the time they get there, it's like nothing ever happened. It's just like you came through a fog bank. Everybody's already spun down off the thing, but those two guys did a great job because they could have just as easily been added to that list of 20.
And by getting through that accident, Stanton Barrett now being shown in 11th position. Former stuntman on a number of Hollywood shows and movies. Now getting back to NASCAR racing, just 26 years of age, the son of Stan Barrett. Set that land speed record years ago in that rocket car out in Bonneville. Second-generation driver showing his mettle here in Busch competition.
You saw the pace car go by just a moment ago with the lights off. The flashing lights are off, which means next time by we'll see the green flag and we'll be back racing